This playoff recap is brought to you by IBC Bank. IBC Bank, we do more. By Sitterly Homes, Network Funding. By Lance Gilliam and Associates, Lance Gilliam CPA PC. 7 to 7 Dental, a better kind of dental practice for the whole family. And by Greg Sherman Videography. Call 419-902-3353 for all your videography needs in San Antonio and the Texas Hill Country. For the third straight year and sixth time overall, Reagan and O'Connor meet up in the 6A playoffs. The teams have split the meetings the last 2 years. Last year in the first round, Reagan solved Molesky ball, stopping 2 fake punts and beating O'Connor 30-7. The year before that, in the 2017 second round, it was O'Connor that had a big first half and blew out Reagan 45-21. The teams are always evenly matched when they meet in the playoffs, though this year the teams come in on separate paths. The Rattlers had to win their final 3 games in the regular season just to get in the tournament at 5-5, the first time ever in school history that they made the playoffs without a winning regular season record. For O'Connor, they went 8-2 in the regular season, never in danger of missing the playoffs. They lost to Steele in the opener, lost to Brandeis in the Looney Bowl, and pretty much blew out all of their remaining opponents. The winner of this game will take on a familiar foe in the second round, that being Converse Judson. So who would win the playoff game here at Ferris Stadium? Well, let's check out the highlights brought to you as always by IBC Bank, Sitterly Homes, Network Funding, and 7 to 7 Dental.
We're going to spend Saturday in the sun, outside. This is the greatest thing.
It was the greatest thing to do. Well, at least on that day. That was O'Connor's principal talking to David Molesky and former O'Connor and Stevens head coach Darrell Hemphill. Running back Carson Green was in junior high for the first 2 meetings. The Panthers wish he would have still been in junior high, or at least on the junior varsity, though Reagan had their own trouble slowing down OC Zion Taylor. Both would go over 1,000 rushing yards for the season during the contest.
We're gonna run our bus to the football, and number 3 when we get there, big right tacklers! Let's get it going! Let's get it going!
All right, let's get to the action. It was Taylor who got off to the early start. A 12-yard run on third down to the right put the Panthers first and goal at the 9. Now third and goal, quarterback David Dodd feeling the blitz, barely escaped Jaden Stagger's sack tackle, kept rolling right and hit Carson Jones in the end zone, 11 yards for the game's opening score. Staggers couldn't make the play then, but he would be heard from later on. Reagan went 3 and out on their first 2 drives with Luke Hoggett back to punt. The arrows are out. Punt block? No. Hoggett got the punt off but was run over by Kyler Goodman. The roughing the punter penalty, 15 yards and a first down, kept the drive alive and was extremely critical in the scope of the game. Later in the drive, after a third down conversion, Green ran left, picked up great blocks around him by the line and scored from 20 yards or 60 feet out. Game tied at 7 after 1 thanks to Green and the penalty that extended the drive. That would not be the last critical OC penalty. Northeast ISD Athletic Director Karen Funk watching intently. Second quarter, 4th and 6 for O'Connor at the Reagan 37. Dodd nearly missed the snap looking at the play clock, but he turned around in time to get the ball and he hit Jones for 11 yards for a first down. Later in the possession, Dodd ran play action perfectly as everyone in white went for Taylor. He rolled left and had plenty of time to find Kevin Kavanaugh in the front corner of the scoring zone, 14-7 Panthers, as the cheerleaders and their dads witnessed what turned out to be their last touchdown of the decade. Final minute of the half, Green ran right, picked up key blocks from Michael Davidson and Staten Ancrum on a 36-yard run. Nice barrel at the end set up Reagan with a scoring chance. Ancrum drew a pass interference call in the end zone, and on the next play, Lance Rent scored from a couple yards out to tie the game at recess.
It's a big thing. My teammates, they keep me going, and especially my coaches. They're just the greatest coaches I could ever have.
On to the third quarter, and time for our IBC Bank Do More play of the game. Third down for Reagan on the opening drive of the half. Lorenz found Ancrum over the flat. He shook a tackler, and watch what he did. He hurled poor Timothy McRae before being tackled at the OC-10. In the 49 states that play by federation rules, that would have been illegal. Thankfully, Texas is the only state left that plays by NCAA rules, so it was legal. McRae, unfortunately, would have more bad luck later in the contest. The play ended up leading to a field goal, 17-14 Rattlers. That extra effort on third and long is our IBC Bank Do More play of the game. IBC Bank, we do more. Zion Taylor ended the game with 136 yards rushing, but only had a couple big runs, including this one for 22 yards down to the Reagan 12. That led to an OC field goal, contest tied at 17 after 3. Fourth quarter was mainly a punt fest. Molesky ball hadn't been seen much in 2019, but the Rattlers expected something, and alas, it did happen. 4th and 2 at the Reagan 28 with 8 minutes left, and Molesky dialed up a trick play. Holder Caleb Smith pitched the pointy object to kicker Ethan Harmon, but he couldn't hang on to the ball. He likely would have had the first down, but instead the Rattlers swarm in, and eventually Jaden Staggers came up with the ball. Remember him? He snuffed out one of the fake punts in last year's game.
We became closer from the start of the season all the way to the end. We had our ups and downs, but we knew that we had a brotherhood and a tight family, so we just stuck together forever.
The defensive front did a really good job today. The backers fit well. Secondary-wise, they played really well all throughout all 4 quarters.
That play wasn't the only bad news for OC in the quarter. Late in the period, Taylor went down with a leg injury and did not return as regulation expired. Judson coach Rodney Williams and staff all excited for America's favorite game, extra possessions. OC had the ball first, and without Taylor, the Panthers were unable to move the ball and settled for a field goal. The first time these teams played in the playoffs in 2006, that game went 4 rounds of extra possessions before Reagan won. This time around, only one play was needed. Ronald Link-Milam had never caught a touchdown pass in a varsity game. He picked a damn good time for his first one. Rattlers win 23-20.
He threw it out a little bit far, so I just had to make a play. He told me before, he's like, do you want to make a play? And I was like, yes, sir. So he called my name, and I did it. I did what I had to do.
I just see they're really looking at number 2, Staten Ankrum, and I just see Ronald coming open.
Yes, sir, man. Best quarterback in the state.
I see him coming across, coming open, and I just thought I could drill that ball in there, and he went and got it.
So how did he get the winning catch? Let's see from the coach's film, brought to you by 7-7 Dental and Orthodontics. First, let's see the end zone angle. Lorenz went play-action fake, which fooled all the Panther linebackers and 2 defensive backs. As the play rolls on, notice Link-Milam and Ankrum crossing by each other, which crossed up the remaining defensive backs C.J. Waller and Timothy McRae. Let's switch now to the press box angle. You'll see the play action that fooled OC, but watch the crossing pattern. Waller, OC's top DB, is assigned to Ankrum, while McRae was assigned to Link-Milam. As the cross happened, Waller stayed with his man, but McRae saw Ankrum and broke off from Link-Milam. Waller saw this, but it was too late. He tried to get back to Link-Milam, but was not able to get back in the play. Link-Milam secured the ball and the win.
We told him the whole year he's been doing the same thing. He's been starting for us. Tri's been out. He's been stepping up. So he just stepped up today. He did what he had to do.
I think everybody forgets about Milam. Everybody forgets about everybody else on this team. It's not just one player making big plays. It's everybody on the team.
We talk to him and we tell him, like, hey, just do what you do. Don't worry about the outside. Don't worry about what other people say. Just go out and play your game. And, he took advantage of it, and here we are now. We became closer from the start of the season all the way to the end. We had our ups and downs, but we knew that we had a brotherhood and a tight family, so we just stuck together forever.
What a great catch, by Ronald and Lance getting it there, and Coach Damasco drawing it up and making sure that kid is there in the end zone.
It was all smiles for Link-Milam, Lorenz, and the rest of the Rattlers. That replay brought to you by 7-7 Dental and Orthodontics, open 7 days a week, including Sundays. Those smiles carried over to the locker room.
That's 2 years in a row that we have beaten that playoff team. Are we on the same page? Yes, sir. That's a testament to this program. That's a testament to the community and the fight and the grit that you show week in and week out. That's a 6-15 right there. Yeah!
For Lorenz, he became the 3rd straight Reagan sophomore quarterback to win his playoff debut following Kellen Mond in 2014 and Travis Staley in 2017. It also marked Reagan's 3rd straight first-round win, tied for the longest streak in program history. The win also secured Reagan's 14th straight non-losing season, the longest active streak in NEISD, and the 4th longest in NEISD history. The Rattlers advanced to round 2 for the second straight year to face the Rockets of Converse Judson, this time around at the Rock Pile. Last year, Judson scored 35 second-quarter points at the Alamo Dome to beat Reagan 63-21. The Rattlers are 2-6 all-time against the Rockets and 0-3 in the knockout rounds. Reporting from Ferris Stadium, I'm Greg Sherman.